Hello, everyone. Carlos here. Welcome to the Tech Brief. This one is for the week after Patch Tuesday in November 2024, and this one's a doozy. Microsoft released 89 vulnerabilities, including 4 0 days. Two of those 0 days are actually being exploited in the wild. So yeah, let's get into that. So the first exploit that I want to cover that is being exploited in the wild is CVE 2024-43-451. It is an NTLM hash disclosure vulnerability. And this one's very concerning because it requires very little interaction from the user itself. The only thing you have to do is right click or select the malicious file. That is enough for it to trigger and via SMB send your NTLM hash to the attacker. It affects all supported Windows versions. And once they have those credentials, they're able to perform passive hash attacks or even try to crack those hashes. This is being used actively in the wild against Ukraine by Russian targets. So this means that given in the past, the relationships and the connections that we have seen between ransomware groups and some of the state actors in Russia, I would not be surprised if we start seeing this vulnerability being used by ransomware crews. So do take that into consideration when you're trying to patch this vulnerability. The next vulnerability that we're going to be talking about is CVE 2024-49039. This one affects specifically Windows Task Scheduler. This vulnerability allows an attacker to elevate their privileges from a low-level app container to then execute code with higher system level access. This is a very complex one. It's being exploited in the wild. Microsoft still hasn't found the piece of code that is actually abusing this. We're going off just via telemetry and what we're seeing in the logs as the attackers are leveraging this vulnerability. So do take that into consideration that a low-level user in your environment, this vulnerability may allow them, even though they're not running as admins, to be able to do a privilege escalation to that higher level. Now, the other two vulnerabilities that Microsoft addressed, which are zero-day vulnerabilities, one of them is CVE 2024-49040. This is a Microsoft Exchange Server vulnerability allowing spoofing. Now, this one in specific, Microsoft has actually pulled the patch. They pulled this patch because it was breaking Exchange. They were having problems with delivery of messages. I do recommend, if possible, that you subscribe to the patchmanagement.org mailing list. I have found this mailing list to be of great value to me because it allows me to see what other people are encountering as they're patching. And many times when it comes to Microsoft, retracting one of those patches, the first place that I learn about that is through that mailing list because people have premier contract, they're engaging in the wild, they have very large install sets, they're going through all of those processes and they share all of that experience and all of that knowledge inside the mailing list. So I do recommend, if possible, to sign up into that one. The next vulnerability that I want to talk to you about is one close to us because this one was found by TrustedSec, specifically Bollinger from our Force team. This is CVE 2024-49019, an Active Directory service, certificate service flaw that affects the old templates and allows you to actually request those, modify them in such a way that you're able to then impersonate a domain admin with those certificates and be able to do privilege escalation through them. He came out with a very nice name for it. I'm not going to try to say it because I'm going to butcher it and sound dumb. So I'm not, I'll just put it in screen. Now, this was found by our Force team and it has been leveraged also by our Red team, our target operations team. And it has worked flawlessly. There are a couple of write-ups out there. I would not be surprised that this one is already being exploited by attackers since given the level of complexity is not that high. Do patch, I'll put a link to our blog post specifically around this vulnerability and how it was found by him in his engagement. Now, moving along to the other vulnerabilities. Out of the 89 vulnerabilities, we have 52 remote code execution vulnerabilities. This is the largest category of all of the 89 vulnerabilities. Then we move down, we have 26 elevation of privilege flaws. Then we have 4 denial of services. We have 3 spoofing vulnerabilities. we have 2 security feature bypasses and 1 information disclosure vulnerability. In addition to all of this, another one that is a big one affecting right now and landed on a Friday. And me working in IR, that means, yay, Friday. Always on a Friday for some reason. We have a 0-day from Palo Alto that is being actively exploited. Palo Alto has recognized that this is being exploited in the wild for a while now. Authentication bypass against the management interface. There's no patch yet, so do look at your attack surface as it exposed out to the internet and patch this one. CISA has offered warnings on it. Yes, I know that a lot of people are going to tell me, like, hey, Carlos, companies don't put their management interfaces out to the internet. Yes, they do. I have a couple of IRs that we're running in the last couple of weeks for RDP out to the internet, for Fortinet management interfaces out to the internet. Look at your attack surface. Make sure that none of them are exposed and apply proper filtering. From Velocity, they found that a actor out of China is abusing a known vulnerability for Fortinet client. For the Fortinet client, what happens is that the credentials are cached in memory in clear text. As you're logging in, an attacker with the same privilege as the user is able to read that memory and extract those credentials. Similar to what we have been seeing attackers also do with RDP. So do take that into consideration. So if anybody gets access to one of your host machines and you see that it has the Fortinet VPN client, make sure that that user resets their credentials on the device across everything. That is a best practice. That is something that we recommend our customers to do as we're performing incident response cases. So yeah, do address that one also. Again, thank you for your time, and I'll see you guys in the next tech brief. Thank you.